Hi there, everyone. It is Trans Monica here, and I am playing a game which has a lot of emotional significance to me. It is called Cinderella Phenomenon, um, and it is about a princess who's got some stuff going on in her life, and so she doesn't really believe in love or happiness or stuff like that. And throughout the story, she learns to be a better person, and it's really it has a lot of emotional weight to me. No, thank you. I know how to play a vampire game. Once upon a time, far away, there were two crystals. One was the Crystallum Lucius, protected by the little ruler of the fairies. The other was the Crystallum Tenebrarum, Tenebrarum, which was watched over by the High Leader of the Witches. Lucius was sustained by love, happiness, and joy. The Tenebrarum by fear, anger, and hatred. The fairies and witches lived in harmony with the humans in the kingdom. They regulated the powers of the crystals in order to maintain balance between darkness and light. For there can be no joy without sadness, and no courage without fear. The kingdom was at peace for a time. Then one day, a traveling bard decided to write stories, tales of the magic and wonders of the kingdom. He named these stories fairy tales. In fairy tales, the light always emerged victorious, and the true love was a usual reward. Fairy tales spread further than could have ever been predicted. Humans of the kingdom began to believe that the fairy tales were true, and that the magic of the witches was inherently wicked and cruel. The witches became hated and feared. Eventually, they were hunted like animals. The witch hunt. The High Leader of the Witches, in all of her anger, created the fairy tale curse. You think we are wicked? So be it. Just as you have taken our happily ever afters, we shall take yours. The witches used the fairy tale curse to attack humans indiscriminately, ultimately throwing the kingdom into chaos and darkness. The ruler of the fairies, the Lucius Bearer, sought to regain peace. But the witches were blinded by their hatred for the humans, who were responsible for the witch genocide. After a terrible war, the Great War began. Eventually, the Tenebrarum Bearer, the High Leader of the Witches, was finally defeated. The Tenebrarum was lost, peace was restored, and the light once again triumphed. But darkness can never fully disappear. It waits in its shadows, patient for its time, when it will inevitably return. Sign here. And this is where we get to name ourselves. Monika. My name is Monika Riella Britton, daughter of King Gennaro Britton III. I am the crown princess of the kingdom of Exile. At least, that's who I used to be. But that was before yesterday, when I became a victim of the fairy tale curse. Everyone has forgotten my birthright. Now I am nothing more than a lowly peasant. I feel like I'm stuck in a nightmare. But no, this is my reality now. I have no idea what I must do to break the curse. I close my eyes and remember that day. It started out like any other day. I'm gonna pause for a second. Mayday, have you heard? Another person is cursed. I am on my way to the dining hall for breakfast when I stop and listen to the sound of some hushed voices. There were two maids standing next to each other with brooms in hand. These two are slacking off again. That's terrible. What fairy tale curse was it? They say it was Pinocchio. Pinocchio, the fairy tale with the lying boy. The fairy tale with the lying boy whose nose grows longer. That's awful. You know, more and more people have been getting cursed lately. You think those wicked witches would be up? You think those wicked witches are up to something again? I thought the fairy tale curses would after. Bah. I thought the fairy tale curses would stop after you know who was defeated. You two were hired to work, not to talk. What? We're sorry, Your Highness. This can only be expected from the likes of them. Another fairy tale curse. The fairy tale curse started spreading even before the Great War began. I do not have much interest in its effects, even now. After all, most humans probably deserve to get cursed. The victims are weak. Angel would be better off without the dead weight. If it were up to Mother, the curse would have simply been banished from Angel the instant they fell prey to it. But Mother is not here anymore, and she will not come back, ever. Princess? The King and Queen are waiting in the dining hall. I am on my way. The King, Ophelia, and Rod are present in the dining hall. Someone is conspicuously missing, but I ignore their absence. Good morning, Monika. Good morning, Your Majesty. Good morning, Monika. Monika. Ophelia. Ophelia Wittensnaw. Every day I wonder why my father, the king, had married a lowly baker. She can never be a true queen, for she pales in comparison to my mother. I take the seat next to the king and look up to the person sitting opposite to me. Rod Bendicat Wittensnaw, my stepbrother, is bored and quiet as usual. He is 2 years my junior and the younger of Ophelia's children. He is mute and uses the plush bunny to voice his thoughts. It was apparently given to him by a fairy. He minds his own business and is easy to deal with. But his older sister... My eyes go to the empty seat beside him. She is probably the most infuriating person I've ever had the displeasure of knowing. Ooh. Imalgine? I don't know how to pronounce these words. I'm so sorry that I'm late. I was reading and I forgot the time. And here she is. Good morning, dear father. Father? Good morning, dear father, mother. Good morning, Rod. And good morning to you too, Monika. It's a beautiful morning, isn't it? Imageline Wittensnaw, Rod's elder sister and my stepsister. She acts as if we are blood. As if she too were born a princess. As if she could ever be the crown princess, perhaps steal my place. I will never let that happen. Now that everyone is here, let us begin. Butlers glide inside with silver trays, carefully serve us breakfast. So, Evangeline, you were reading the fairy tale books that the king brought you? Oh yes, there are so many, and they are all so wonderful. Aw, see, I like this game. Oh, thank you so much, Father. I'm happy you like them. I love them. Daisuki. It's so strange that the library didn't have any of them to begin with. That is because Mother hated them. She had all those books burned. But why? They're such charming stories. Fairy tales mislead humans into believing that they can have the things they do not deserve. Fames, riches, love, happily ever afters. And when their wishes do not come into fruition exactly as they wanted them, the humans blame the witches for not granting them in the first place. What are you implying about the witches, Monika? The atmosphere shifts, the air in the room growing heavy. I continue to eat. Perhaps witches are not responsible for all of the evil in this world. Perhaps humans are the cause of their own downfall. Have you any idea what you're talking about, child? Witches have caused nothing but pain and suffering in this kingdom. Even now, they still spread the fairy tale curse to innocent subjects. The truth is, I know very little about the time where witches had free reign over Angel. I was very young then, and Mother forbade me to leave this palace, sometimes and sometimes even my room. I know nothing of people's supposed pain of suffering. Mother kept me away from everyone, and if so, I cannot bring myself to care. How do you know the cursed are innocent? Our people have been toiling day and night to rebuild NGL after the Great War. Our people in the kingdom's foundation, I am endlessly grateful for the determination and resolve. Every day I wonder what your mother taught you about. Leave Mother out of this. Dear, please. Monika, darling, your father didn't mean to. I am not one of your children, Ophelia. I do not need your sympathy. Ooh. Monika, you will show your mother respect. She is not my mother. I set my fork and knife and stand up. I am done. Excuse me. My father and I have never got on, but our relationship has been significantly worse since he married the baker. My father, the king. It has been 17 years, and I have never felt any love from him. He treats Evangeline and Rod, who only entered our life 1 year ago, like his own children, better than he has ever treated me. This has been my life ever since Mother passed away 4 years ago. Mother was the only one who was there for me when no one else was. If it wasn't for the accident during the Great War, she would still be here. Why the sour face so early in the morning, Princess? Oh, hello there. Let me guess, it's the king or the queen or Princess Evangeline. Or is it all of them? I ignore his question. Fritz, what are you doing here so early? I'm running some errands for my father. Fitzgerald, Iden Leverton, son of the highest knight in the Order of Caldaria. His father, Sir Alcaster, has served the royal family for many years. Sir Alcaster is one of the king's most trusted advisors. 3 years ago, Fritz was assigned by the honor of becoming my personal knight. Oh, I love that. She was assigned the honor of being my personal knight. His presence is the only company I can tolerate nowadays. You should wait in the throne room, then. Thank you. Princess? Yes. You know, I haven't seen you smile. Aw. Ow. You know, I haven't seen you smile once since I met you. Why is that of any importance? Still, I do hope to see you smile one day, Princess. Well, I won't take up any more of your time then. I'll see you at 10. 10? Don't tell me you've forgotten. Forgotten what? You're going to town, remember? I deflate as the realization dawns upon me. It's been 2 days since the king issued the order. Monica, I'd like you to accompany. I'd like it to. Bleh. I'd like you to accompany Evangeline on one of her town outings. Surely you could send maids with her instead. I would not have requested you to accompany her if I was going to send her with maids. I want you to make an effort to get along with your sister. Step-sister. She is your sister, and you will treat her and Rod as if they were your blood. 2 days from now, you are going to accompany Evangeline outside. It's been 4 years since you last left the palace. Ever since then, you have locked yourself away. You barely even leave your room. Angiel was in the grip of war back then, but now the kingdom is safe and back to its former glory. I want you to see how beautiful Angiel really is. Monica, a princess must know her kingdom. Go with Evangeline. She will show you the town that you only ever see through your windows. Is that an order? If it needs to be. Are we clear? Monica. Understood. The last time I left the palace was 4 years ago, when the king took me with him to check on the people after the Great War had ended. I shake my head, removing myself from the memory. I am safe here. Princess, are you alright? It won't be that bad. The townsfolk are good people. How can you be so sure? Aww. You can really get it. Times have changed. People change. That is precisely the problem. Mother never changed. Mother loved me until the end. Sometimes change is for the better, Princess, and I think you'll see that today. If you excuse me, I shall see you later. Delora. Do you think witches are capable of bringing back the dead? I wish you could talk to me. You and all the others. My dolls are my only friends. They are the only ones I can trust. Unlike humans, they will never betray me. They will never hurt me, and they will always be there for me. The moment I saw Delora, I knew she was special. She was different, so elegant and realistic, it was almost as if she was breathing. She was a gift from the king on my 17th birthday. I only started receiving dolls from him when Mother passed away. Mother did not believe in birthday celebrations, but every year at midnight, a letter would appear under my door. It would contain instructions leading me through the palace on an adventure to a room filled with gifts, cakes, and sweets. A child's dream. I'd been fascinated by the dolls, which had always held a little greeting card. A card with the words, "I loved you," on it, signed by Anne. The card would tell me to keep those celebrations as a special secret, but oh no. Mother's always found a way to show me that she still cared, in her own way. The secret celebrations had stopped as soon as she had disappeared. Yes? Excuse me, Your Highness, the king has requested your presence. This better not be another lecture. Tell him I am on my way. I will see you later, Delora. Oh. Good morning, Your Highness. Sir Mithros. Sir Mithros, the royal advisor. Father trusts him a great deal, just like he does Sir Alacaster. Every day you look more and more like your mother. I sometimes find Sir Mithros talking to your mother's portrait when he thinks no one is looking. He must have admired her a lot, but I cannot bring myself to think highly of him. There's something about him that puts me on edge. Are you on your way to see the king? I shall not keep you then. Until our next meeting, dear princess. See, I keep on getting a little tingle of happiness every time I hear myself being called the princess. Your Majesty. Monika, are you ready? You will enjoy this, Monika. You will enjoy this, Monika. I heard the toy shop has lovely dolls. This will be good for you. You will get to know your sister better, and be able to interact with and learn about the people of Angelo, about our subjects. I will not learn anything I do not already know. Why do you always believe that the people around you are incapable of good? Because I have seen how quickly people will betray and manipulate each other to get what they want. Mother warned me about human nature. You do not see clearly, Monika. If only you would open your eyes, you'd be able to see how good people really are. Oh, ow. I believe I am already quite capable of seeing the true nature of people. After all, I've seen that oh no, ow. After all, I've seen that there's no good in you. Monika, where were you when I needed you 4 years ago? Where have you been ever since? Back then I'd been overflowing with grief and pain. I'd just lost Mother, my entire world. I'd hoped that maybe then he would have showed me some love and compassion, even just a hug to let me know that someone was there for me. It had been a childish hope. I had been left all alone. Oh, you don't need to hit me where it hurts, okay? I did not see him for months. I had barely even heard his voice. You cannot rely on anyone but yourself, and you cannot trust anyone but yourself. This is what you have taught me, Your Majesty. I know that I've hurt you, and I know that there's nothing I can do to atone for what I did. But please, Ophelia and her children are not a part of that. They do not deserve to be hated. In the end, they still matter to him more than I ever did. Monika, enough. I've already said that I will go. Everyone is waiting outside. I shudder at the thought of leaving the palace after so many years. Monika, it'll be okay. How can you be so sure? Thank you for agreeing to accompany Evangeline. I would not disobey an order from the king. Excuse me. Hello, how can I help? Victoria! Princess Evangeline, it's good to see you. I trail Evangeline, ignoring her as she embraces her friend. I glance around the small shop. The dolls displayed are nowhere near the quality of the ones in my room. I cannot understand why Evangeline insisted she buy gifts for her friends here. I cannot believe I am outside of the palace. There's no need to be so tense, Princess. I would never let anything happen to you. Your only job is to relax and to enjoy yourself. You ask the impossible of me. Aww. There's no need to be so formal, Victoria. I'm still the same as I was. Oh, yes, Rod's come. Oh, yes! Rod's come along as well. It's been a while, Victoria. It's good to see you again, too, Rod. I must introduce you to Her Highness, the Crown Princess, Monika. The look on Victoria's face as she takes a step back from me is all too familiar. Fear. My apologies for being so rude, Your Highness. Good morning. Um, uh, this is Sir Fitzgerald, Sir Alacaster's son. It's a pleasure to meet you, my lady. Oh, you're Sir Fitzgerald? You really are as handsome as Evangeline described in her letters. I'm sorry. Don't mind her, Sir Fitzgerald. Ugh. I'm sorry, Evangeline. Right. So what brings you all the way here? Oh, I'm here to buy some toys. Gifts for some new friends. Toys from here, are you sure? Of course I am. I'd prefer if we finish this errand as quickly as possible. Aww. Yes, of course. I'm sorry, Your Highness. Princess, I can barely breathe in here. I just want to go back to the palace. Aww. Karma. Good morning. Up until this point, I had always considered Mother to be the fairest beauty in the land. The lady that walks in proves me wrong. Her beauty is mesmerizing. And clearly without peer. Everyone in the shop is openly staring. Oh, you're early today, ma'am. I have some important errands to run later today. Are the items ready now? Oh, of course. Let me go and fetch them for you. It'll be just one moment, Evangeline. Why is she smiling at me? Well, here you are, ma'am. Thank you. That lady was beautiful. Right? Any girl standing next to her becomes hopelessly ugly by comparison. Ugh. Don't say that about yourselves, but also say in character. Who is she? Who is she? She's new around town. Some say she's a fairy. A fairy? Sorry. All the voices just got whacked up. Fairies saved Angel from the witches 4 years ago. Everyone considered them to be our saviors. And yet the fairies are still unable to stop the fairytale curse from spreading. Here you go. Thank you so much. No, thank you, Victoria. I hope to drop by again soon. Good, I'll look forward to seeing you again. I hope to see you again as well, Rod. Likewise. Leaving the palace was a bad idea. While I am out, I am the center of attention. Some townsfolk point and stare at me. However, most make a point of avoiding me, like I am the plague. There are some spiteful stares, but thankfully none are nearly as intense as they were 4 years ago. I'm sure the townsfolk are only surprised to see you again after so many years. Right. Fritz and Rod lag behind us, which only leaves Madeline walking beside me. I cannot decide which is worse, the staring or her company. Ooh, Monika, look, a street performance. It's been so long since I last watched one. A street performance? Good day, everyone. My name is Waltz, and I'm here to spread some happiness and magic. Aww. Snaps his fingers, and colorful flower petals start to rain down from the sky. Isn't that pretty, Monika? Are those princesses over there? It's an honor to have you in attendance. Please accept this as a humble gift. He snaps his finger and white lilies appear in his hand. Aw. Oh, thank you. The boy looks at me as if he is expecting some kind of reaction. When he gets nothing from me, he sighs and gives me a wry smile. I hope to see you again during my next show. We'll definitely try. He gracefully bows before moving back to his area to perform more magic tricks for the gathering crowd. There. There are performers like this all around Angio. I love them. Maybe someday we'll get to see some magicians too. Those are my favorite. I do not intend to leave the palace again. What? But you don't like it out here? Rod and I grew up here. I love Angel. It's my favorite part of the kingdom. I really wanted to share this with you, Monika. I know you didn't really want to come, but you still tagged along. This means a lot to me, so thank you. I did not do this for you. I'm only here because the king ordered me to go with you. I just want us to be closer, Monika. I want to try to be your friend. I do not want nor need your friendship. No matter how you act around me when we are not, and no matter how you act around me, we are not, and we will never be sisters. I'd take care to remember that if I were you. But Rob suddenly grabs my hand, pulling me away from Angeline. Stop. He's staring daggers at me. I think this is maybe the first time I've ever seen him angry. Rod, don't. Let me go. Honestly. Both of you ought to stay away from me. I feel the heavy atmosphere as I look at the people staring at us. Their expressions mirror the looks of disdain I saw years ago. Anger, disgust, hatred. I began to walk away. Princess, wait! Don't follow me. Princess. I adjust my cloak, making sure my face is hidden from view. I should never have left the palace. As I walk around, I watch the people bumbling down the streets, so carefree. They work hard for so little reward. They could work their entire lives and never have a fraction of what I have, and yet they're happy. And I... We heard Anise lost her job at the palace. It's true, Crown Princess Monika made sure the poor girl was fired. I stop in my tracks at the mention of my name. Not again. Anise, was that the name of the maid who tore Doloro's dress? If so, my decision to fire her was justified. A palace maid cannot be clumsy. Why should I tolerate poor performance? What did I do that was so wrong? You know that Anise. Hard-working, big-hearted, very good with medicine. Shame she lost her job so quickly. You know how hard the crown princess is to please. My friend at the palace says she doesn't even smile. She just goes around with that cold look at her face. That's probably why they call her the Ice Princess. Ice Princess. So all the times I've heard the servants saying that, I'd always suspected they were talking about me. And she's the complete opposite of her Princess Evangeline. That child's an angel. We all know that she should be the crown princess. An annoyance begins to simmer inside of me. I cannot stand hearing anymore, so I walk away. Ever since Evangeline entered my life, I've always been compared to her. And now I've become the second best. I am Monika Riella Britain, daughter of King Gennaro Britain III, and the crown princess of the kingdom of Angel. I am of royal blood. She is nothing. There you are. Princess, you must come back with me. It's getting too late for you to remain outside. Princess, are you alright? Are you hurt? I brush him off and turn away. No need to fuss. Let us return to the palace. Let us return to the palace. Leaving the palace was physically and mentally draining. My bed is welcoming to my unusually heavy body. I turned today to meet Dolores' glassy gaze from where she sits on my shelf. I left the palace today, Dolora. It was the same as all those years ago. Everyone looked at me like I was... What have I ever done to deserve those looks? How can I be so hated? Ice Princess. I wish Mother were here. I look at the smiling faces of my dolls. At least I still have all of you. I yawn and stretch my arms. Good night, Dolora. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Singing, but who? Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. I blink my eyes open, only to see Dolora sitting right in front of me on my bed. Moonlight spills across her delicate features. How I wonder what you are. She wasn't on the shelf with all the other dolls. Wasn't she on the shelf with all the other dolls when I went to bed? Laura? It's almost time. I pinch my cheeks to make sure I am not dreaming. It hurts. Only 10 minutes before the clock strikes 12. I hope you're ready, Princess. What? My doll just turned into a human. How? Who are you? You know who I am. I've been watching you since the day your father gave me to you. What is happening? I don't think I have ever been so confused in my life. All of the answers will come in time, Princess, but I'm here to give you something right now. Is this Cinderella's very own glass slipper? It is beautiful, too beautiful. Then a realization begins to dawn upon me. You're a witch. Smart, Carol. I knew you'd figure it out eventually. Now it's time to say goodbye to your precious crown. What? Sweet dreams, Cinderella. I think this is where we're gonna break it. We're gonna end the episode off. Go menu. I'll delete these saves. These are old saves. I don't want to have to scroll. You know what? Sure, we'll scroll to page 3. Save. Yeah, this is actually a good moment to pause it off. It's been like 40 minutes. I hope you can see why this has a lot of significance to me emotionally. And I hope that you guys can continue to watch more when I upload more of these. I really, really hope that you have a great day, and remember to smile. Okay, bye!